Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for History 202 for the week of March. Let's see, what is the date tomorrow? The 9th. Today's Sunday. I'm here in the office recording these video announcements for the week. Okay, so we wrapped up the crash of 1929 last week. I hope you enjoyed that documentary that I had you watch there from American Experience about the 1920s and the stock market and the crash and how that happened. I was looking at the discussion and it all looked interesting. I think most of the responses were pretty accurate. I was happy at least one person um, profiled Groucho Marx in the, actually it was Groucho Marx's son who talks in the documentary, not Groucho Marx himself. Um, it's that's an interesting story, I think, and they're all interesting stories. So I hope you like that. And one thing, just a reminder about these discussions. Some of your responses, not for every student, but for some students, they can be more robust. Okay, and I might write that in the comments. Your people are just writing one sentences for responses. So recall that in the instructions, and it's always a good idea to reread those discussion instructions, make sure you're still hitting everything that is required, that there should be, at least a paragraph for each question. Okay, your answer should be a paragraph, which is like, 3 to 5 sentences. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But otherwise, it looked like a good discussion. And yeah, I mean, we're still, the economy is always a fluid situation. And now with this COVID-19 virus, it's going to have an impact on the global economy. So, and hopefully it won't be anything that's too bad, not a global recession or anything like that, but it will definitely have an impact. So we'll see how that goes. And if you want to see, I love movies. A movie about the housing bubble and what led to the Great Recession of 2008, I recommend the movie The Big Short. It's really good. It stars Steve Carell, who I don't know if you watch The Office, but he was one of the main characters. He played one of the main characters in The Office, and he's brilliant in this movie, in The Big Short. So I highly recommend it, and you'll learn something about another economic crisis that occurred later on in the 20th century. No, the 21st century, yeah, in 2008. So, okay, now we move on. All right, so I'm going to make myself small. There is our modules, and remember, just go to the modules every time when you're going to do work in our class. We are still in Module 3, but we move on to this week, Module 3.2. And so this week we're going to look at the Great Depression, the New Deal, and a new war. So just click on the overview page there. Okay, this is a picture of Eleanor Roosevelt. She was the first lady to Franklin Roosevelt, and this was during the Great Depression, where she's actually out talking to a project superintendent about a WPA project, and you'll learn what WPA, what that was, in this module. Okay, so our objectives for this module are: identify the extent of the impact of the Great Depression and the major programs of the New Deal in a self-check quiz. And 2, summarize and evaluate the changes in U.S. foreign policy leading to the entrance of the U.S. into World War II in a class discussion. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this module, and there's a lot that I'm trying to cover. And I guess for our discussion, I'm kind of changing the focus to foreign policy because the United States is at this time contemplating whether it should become involved in World War II, which at this time is primarily a European war, although it will become very quickly a global war. Okay, so your activities are for Module 3.2. You're going to read chapters 32 and 33. You will take the self-check quiz. And I have a video commentary here that I made. In this commentary, I mainly talk about the Great Depression, and I focus in on some research that I did about, 10, 15 years ago. No, more like 10 years ago, where I traveled to Detroit and did research on the Great Depression and its effect on workers in Detroit, specifically Detroit, Michigan. So please watch that video. The material that I cover in this video is not covered in the textbook, so it's my own research, and I worked hard on it. So I hope you watch it. It is required. Okay, then you want to complete the discussion for this week, Module 3.2. So clicking next. There is your self-check quiz. Okay, that will be due March 10th. All right. So, and then, where's my next button? Here, instructions for discussion. Okay, so make sure always a good time to kind of reread what's required. And here it is. Post to my questions should consist of a minimum of one paragraph of 3 to 5 sentences for each question. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then go to the questions. Okay, so here we're mainly focusing on the changes in U.S. foreign policy leading to its entrance into World War II. Okay, so that is where we're at. Let's see here. All right, so that's what we're doing for this week. If you have, of course, as always, if you have questions or need to talk to me about anything, please contact me. Spring break is in 2 weeks, and then after spring break, there is a paper assignment that's coming up. Okay, so I don't want you to worry about it right now, but just want to give you a heads up that is coming up, and we'll talk more about that later after spring break. Okay, so I hope you all have a good week this week, and we keep pressing on, okay? All right, thanks for all your hard work, and thanks for watching. Bye.